I read an article in the newspaper with this headline: Experts debate fix for failing schools. There was nothing really unusual about this article. I've seen many like it before. In a sense, it's timeless. The debate in question is what to do with failed schools. A failing school is one in which the students are not meeting requirements set by standardized tests. A failing school is one in which students are promoted from year to year so as not to affect their self-esteem, and by the time they get to high school, someone is bound to point out that many of them can't read or write or do basic math like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. A failing school is one in which the students do as they please, routinely curse the teachers, paying little or no attention to them, because they know the teachers have no way to install or enforce order in their classrooms. Two strategies are proposed to counter or improve these failing schools. And by the way, there are many failing schools. These are almost always urban public schools, and in many cities you have entire school districts that are failing, with perhaps a few individual exceptions, schools where the parents camp out for days in a line so they can enroll their children. So a solution or some help is badly needed. No one disputes that. The two strategies are to start up charter schools from scratch or to have complete so-called turnarounds for the failing schools. The charter schools often start small, sometimes with a single grade. Since the numbers are more manageable, they're like an incubator. They nurture success, and then they grow slowly, seeking to build on it, and eventually extend it from kindergarten through high school. It's a long, slow process. The turnaround solution calls for the replacement of the entire staff at the underperforming school, all the teachers and the principal, in the belief that morale and expectations and performance will all be high in the new staff. It should be clear that both strategies require a lot of funding. They may get the funding, but neither will solve the problem. The problem, at least most of it, is in the students and the lack of support they have at home, if they have a home. Charter schools succeed when they're able to restrict enrollment, select their student population. Turnarounds succeed when they are able to eliminate problem students, and they are not forced to, for example, mainstream autistic students into the general student population. Just now, though, I'd like to focus not on the students or the teachers, or the strategies or the funding, but on the experts. These experts who are debating what to do. You can be sure they have impressive titles. They are most likely very well paid, have many degrees, designations, certifications, etc., etc., etc. They are highly respected. They are called educators and commissioners and specialists and officials and secretaries and researchers, and they come from institutes and all sorts of political departments, city, state, and federal. They write papers and books, and they are filled with big ideas and strategies on how to improve student performance, classroom management, and the entire national educational system, which they all agree is in crisis, a near total failure, education gone to hell. The experts are never teachers. They don't have much to say about students and parents and discipline. Instead, they have their strategies and their debates. They call for funding and implementation. If it works, they blush. If it doesn't, they say, give it some time. I say stop listening to the experts. The experts are 4-, 5-, and 6-star generals who never fought in a war. They have no sense of what it's like on the front. If they did, they would shut up with their strategies, take a huge pay cut, go into a classroom and try to make a real difference. Take one, as they say, for the team, knowing, given the nature and magnitude of the problem, and their pitifully limited powers to respond, that they will, for the most part, fail, and even be blamed for that failure. Because they are experts, that is something they will never do. They are much too smart to do anything like that. They will continue to deplore the system and debate their strategies, while the desperate parents camp out and the children walk unarmed and helpless into the future.